Season's greetings, people. Welcome to the Sports on the Weekend show. My name is Odiri Akpan. Today, I would love to start with something from an ice hockey legend. You can also call him a hockey Hall of Famer. He's from Canada. His name is Wayne Gretzky, and he says simply, you miss 100% of the shots you don't take. So it's simple. You can't succeed if you don't try. That's just about it. But in the next few days, we get into the new year. That's in 2019. So what are your goals? What are your targets? And what's your New Year resolutions, basically? But I have been having so much fun. You know, you eat so much for Christmas. Eat different types of meats and different types of rice. You need to have neighbors bring you rice, food, everything, you know, and you have so much fun. I wouldn't add a lot of weight, but I'm so sure that I have more coming my way. There's been a blitz of football during this period and more to come, of course, in the different leagues. But I have a guest with me in the studio. His name is Victor Adebayo. Welcome back to the show, Victor.
Odiri, compliments of the season. It's a pleasure once again.
Okay, so let's start off with a lot of things that happened in 2018. Victor, before we get to the FIFA rankings, we're looking at a summary of the rankings for 2018. But before we get to that, the Super Eagles had a lot to go through during the year. But one thing that did cross my mind was Victor Moses retired this year.
Yeah.
He retired from international football this year, so he walked away from the team, and it just keeps reminding me of the song by Craig David, I'm walking away from the troubles in my life. Did we give him trouble in 2018?
Well, I don't know about that. It's not official, so I can't...
Okay, give me the unofficial picture.
He said he wants to spend time with his family.
That's
so I just think we need to respect his decision.
I don't think that's enough, but I'll accept it. I can't force him to play, can I?
Family first, Odiri.
Family first. True, Victor. Okay, let's go to the FIFA rankings. In 2018, we see the three countries had the most point gains in 2018. France, they got 165 points, and we also see Uruguay 151. Kosovo got 133 points so far in the whole of 2018. Now, for most ranks gained, Kosovo moved about 46 places, Kuwait 31 places, El Salvador 30 places. So these are the guys that have been busy. But the truth is that you can look at this movement, the ranks, and you think that they are in the top 50. They are not, actually. They are in 200 and something, 100 and something.
Wow.
That's their rankings. But they've moved up. They have progressed. They progressed in 2018.
Yeah. Well, Odiri, believe me, I'm proud of the Kosovo team. You know, if you look at the antecedent, you look at Kosovo as a nation, the war, the crisis, and they've been able to hold their own. And look at the level of, you know, their level of elevation. It shows that indeed the Kosovo government and the people in Kosovo, they are really looking football as a big business, and they use Adnan Januzaj to derive motivation and inspiration from that, because he's from Kosovo. So, you know, looking at Januzaj and other kids in Kosovo and the government who want to invest more in football, yes.
Okay, also, let's look at Confederations' performance. UEFA, CAF, the OFC, AFC, CONMEBOL, CONCACAF. Yes, those are the confederations under FIFA, and let's look at how they ended up in 2018. Now, Europe had 31 countries in the top 50. And Asia had 3. But Africa is third in the rankings, because CONMEBOL has 8 countries in the top 50. Africa has 5. Now, last year, Africa had 8. But 3 dropped out, and this year, Asia has picked up 3. And CONCACAF has 3. That's a good job for CONCACAF. But OFC is the one that when I saw that OFC had no country in the top 50, I went to look at OFC and look at the top ranked countries. You see from 150-something, 251, you know, and you're wondering, we complain a lot in Africa. Why do we complain that our football is not getting to the heights we want it to get to?
Well, it's because OFC, the Oceania, they play, you know, rugby, cricket probably, and swimming as well.
Number 1 in rugby has to be New Zealand.
Yeah, swimming as well. So they don't, it's not as if football is their strength. But in this part of the world, Africa, we rely mostly on football, apart from South Africa that are, you know, when it comes to sports, rugby, they are decentralized. Cricket, they have a lot of sports to follow to. Golf. But in Africa, we look at football as our number 1 sport, and look at where we have 5. It just shows the rate of decline in our football.
We are working hard.
We are working. That's what we keep saying. We are working hard.
Okay, there were beautiful, beautiful saves, misses, and goals from 2018. Let's start off with the saves. Some goalkeepers were really phenomenal in 2018. Okay. Beautiful scenes there. We see Jesus Corona drill got me really talking. You know, you have to save the shot like 3 times. These goalkeepers really work hard. They grovel and make sure that they keep their teams out of trouble.
Yeah, that's what we call reflex. You know, you need that to become a top goalkeeper. And you could see that the likes of David De Gea, Jan Oblak, these guys are top goalkeepers. And these are guys that they can save up to 20 to 21 points for you in a season. When you have such a goalkeeper in the middle of the sticks.
They're now expensive.
Yeah, that's why they're expensive. And I love the way things are changing in football. It's not all about strikers anymore. Right now, the goalkeepers are commanding huge fees. Defenders are commanding huge fees. So these days, you need a top goalkeeper to keep you moving.
One wish of mine for 2019 is that African goalkeepers begin to make breakthroughs in Europe.
I hope so.
Because we do have good goalkeepers, actually.
Yeah, we do have good goalkeepers.
But you can't tell if you don't try them out.
Yeah, you're right about that. But apart from that, it's not about, investing on strikers, wide men, forwards. I think it's high time in Africa. We need to train more goalkeepers. The last time we had good goalkeepers, I remember the days of Silva of Senegal, when we had Idriss Kanemi at the top of his game, and our very own Vincent Eyama, Dodo Mayana and the likes. But these days it's all about strikers.
But the one disadvantage for goalkeepers, though, is the fact that you only have 1 goalkeeper per game. You have 3 midfielders if you want. You can have 4 defenders. You can have 2, 3 strikers, no attackers, forwards. You only have 1 goalkeeper. And if you're very nice, like Adebayo, when they went to win the CAF Champions League, you can have a penalty specialist. But also, not the goalkeepers doing so well. We had some blips, yes, from some blips, some bloomers, whatever, from the strikers. They had a lot of misses, yes. Someone said to me that for every 10 goals scored, the strikers have missed about 35. So let's look at some of the misses that made headlines in 2018. Okay, those are some of the beautiful goals that we witnessed in the year 2018. And I will say that I have seen that in 2018, Victor Osimhen, that's the former under-17 striker, I have seen that he has improved and is going on from strength to strength. I love to see when the youngsters do well at the under-17 level and they go to Europe to play for clubs where they can become better. The under-17 level is not the same level with the national team level. So he looks like he's getting better. So you see goals and you wish that you could see a lot of your countrymen scoring those kind of goals.
You're right about that. I think it's high time we need to educate our youngsters, from the basics. Having a nice outing at the youth age grade competitions doesn't mean you are ripe enough to play for top teams. What you need to do as a youngster is go to a team that will develop you, that will groom you as a player. Because the truth of it all is, you're coming from Africa at the age of 16, 17. There are some there are some rudiment of the game that you lack as a player. You can't compare yourself to other kids in Europe that pass through under 15, under 5, under 10, stuff, and so on. But they need to move to the right club that are good at grooming players. E.g., FC Porto is one of them. Sporting Lisbon is one of them. Ajax is one of them. Go to these clubs. It's not about going to Real Madrid, Man City, Iheanacho is one of
an
the
example of
Chris
something
Santos
that went
Macaulay
wrong.
is an example as well. So I think African players, not just Nigerian players, they need to learn. You know, African youngsters.
Since we can't groom our youngsters to a certain level ourselves, when they go abroad, we need to ensure that they go into places where they will be well groomed, so that we can have them good and ready for future purposes. So those are the goals of 2018. Now, also 2018 graced us with the World Cup, and unlike other World Cups, I think for me in recent times, Russia 2018 has became like one of the most entertaining World Cups ever, because I really enjoyed watching it from home. I enjoyed following every single tidbit of the World Cup. It was just a beautiful, entertaining World Cup to watch.
Yeah, you know, before Russia won the bid to host the World Cup, some players applied their trade in Russia, and other pundits and football fans as well were like, because of the high level of racism in Russia, they were skeptical about Russia hosting the World Cup. But believe you me, Odiri, the World Cup turned out to be epic, and it was a nice World Cup. Apart from the goals, apart from, you look at the organization, you look at the stadium, that's the arena, everything was on point. I believe it's a World Cup to remember.
And the Russian team came to the party. Let's see.
Yeah. Fantastic free kick. Oh, what a shot. What a hit from miles out. Messi is denied. The small nation stands tall. Sensational goal. South Korea have scored. Can you believe it? They can't make it count. 2-0.
To their clash with Argentina, knowing a win would see them confirm their progression from the group stage.
Look at the bounce pass. Oh,
Also in 2018, we saw Nigeria's The Tigresses, our women's national basketball team. They went to the World Cup in 2018 in Spain, and they produced a beautiful performance, because at the end of the World Cup, we became the first African country in women's basketball to reach the quarterfinals of that tournament. And it was beautiful performances from the Tigers. Let's take a look at some of the highlights of the Basketball World Cup from 2018.
On the back of another double-double from Evelyn Akator, they pulled off a stunning win. The 75-70 victory seeing them write another page.
The ladies made us proud. Victor, you follow basketball. You're a fan of basketball. Yeah. What did you think? Did you see it coming? Do you think we can work on our success? Do you think in 2019 we can be better?
Yeah, we can be better in 2019. You know, the FIBA Men World Cup is around the corner next year. But speaking about this year's own, you know, we lost to the United States, and there's no way, if you're a football lover, if you follow, basketball rather, if you follow basketball too well, you understand what I'm talking about. There's no way the D-Tigers were able to defeat the girls from the United States, because they've got a lot of ladies that play at the WNBA. So it's quite difficult, and many players that we have right now in our team are United States breed as well. But the girls tried. I think it's high time the basketball organization we need to foster our basketball league, the male and the female. We need to foster our basketball league.
But before they do that, they need to settle the in-house factions and issues going on. Yes, in the federation.
The coach issues, stuff like that. But I think if they need to do
that.
I
think Otis Hartley did a good job with this.
Yeah, he did a good job. You know, because you look at the preparation prior to the World Cup. I think for me it was bad. But these girls, they held their own at the World Cup. Yeah. Losing to the United States, believe me, I won't hit against the girls, because to me, I believe it's quite impossible to defeat the United States.
In 2018, we had performances from the Super Eagles, the World Cup. They qualified for the World Cup with a game to spare. They qualified for the Nations Cup, a game to spare. Now we also had the Super Falcons. They won the African Women's Cup of Nations for the 9th time, I believe. And the performance wasn't so good, but at least we were able to successfully defend our trophy. And we had the women's basketball team, the Tigress, also. So I'd like you to go to the Twitter handle at The Weekend NG to tell us what your favorite national team is for 2018. But I'll start with Victor. What's your favorite national team for 2018?
Well, I'll give it to the South Korea national team.
No, I'm talking about Nigerian national teams.
Okay, Super Eagles, of course.
Why do you have to go? My favorite is the Tigers.
Mine
Because
is the Super Eagles.
they got to the World Cup quarterfinals, first African country to do that, so definitely the Tigers for me. So let's go to the fixtures coming up today, this weekend, and we see English Premier League and I think the Italian Serie A matches. Now the other leagues have gone on a break. That is talking about the French League on, and the other top five, about three of them have gone on, taking the Christmas break so far. So La Liga is also not on, so we have this. But one big match is coming up this weekend. That's Liverpool up against Arsenal. What's happening in that game?
Well, it's going to be a tough game, you know, a season definer as well. Because after Liverpool, they're going to play Man City early next year, first week of January. So I think Liverpool right now, you look at the momentum at the Anfield, the Cops are really at the top of their game. These guys are firing from all cylinders. Mo Salah has gotten his mojo back. Van Dijk is marshalling the defense. You look at Alisson Becker is really living up to expectation. Klopp has gotten, you know, armies that are ready to take everybody by storm. So this game is going to be a tough game, but we all know the way Liverpool Arsenal always turns out a lot of goals, and it's always difficult to predict the outcome of that game. Okay,
do you think fatigue is going to play any role in this? Because we've been playing games in the first.
Yeah, definitely fatigue is a role that's going to play out. This the winter, for crying out loud. We all know the fixture. At times you play 4 games in 12 days, 4 games in 10 days. Your labs get swollen, so fatigue comes into play, injury sets in as well. Loss of form is another thing, and this is the winter, for crying out loud, Odiri. So it's a factor, Odiri. And for you to push further during this part of the season, this is the time that's going to define how the outcome of the season.
Okay, also, just before we go, they say there's this tradition in the EPL that the team in the past 4 seasons, the team that won the league actually was on top of the league table at Christmas.
Yeah, for sure. That's
so will
true.
Liverpool win it?
It's difficult this
you
season.
You think I'll put your money on it?
No, Odiri, it's difficult to predict this season. City is another team entirely. Yeah. And we all see the way the City side are playing. They've got a complete squad. You look at the squad depth, and they've got a manager that knows how to bring the best out of his team. They've got young stars as well, the likes of Phil Foden, you know, Zinchenko. We all know right now in our heart, we might say the league is wide open, but in our heart, we know it's a 2-horse race right now. City and Liverpool. It's quite difficult. I care less about the winner, the log toppers at the end of the year. I'm looking at March, April. I'm looking at the aftermath of December.
Okay, aftermath of December. But I personally think that if Liverpool don't win it this season, I don't know what they'll do for next season. But Ina is coming up next in the entertainment segment, and she has lots of things to go through for 2018 and to look forward to for 2019. Thank you guys for staying true to us, for supporting us on the weekend show. Don't forget to go and tell us your favorite national team of the year. Talking about the Nigerian national teams, looking at the Super Eagles, Super Falcons, the Tigress, and also, I think I should even chip in the Commonwealth Games 2018. Team Nigeria got 9 gold, 9 silver, and 6 bronze medals. That was a good performance also. So you can go talk about it on the Twitter handle at TheWeekendNG. Thank you guys for staying tuned. Keep it locked. Entertainment is up next with Ina Peters.